Everything B9.
3, 2. Is everyone set? All set?
Oh, good, man, yeah.
Cool. All right,
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Everything B9 podcast, part of the Everything BCFC network. I'm James Kelly, and it's a new season of football, it's a new podcast, and a new season for talking. So let's introduce you to the guests, shall we? So first of all, we have returning once again from the Blues Focus podcast. Hello, Tommy Kelsall.
Oh, hello, James. How's it going, mate?
It's all good. New season. We're all ready to go.
Yeah, it's going to be a great season. I'm really looking forward to it all.
And of course, returning, you'll hear him all on BBC WM most of the time, but he's here as well, going to talk Blues. It's Josh Clark. How you doing, Josh?
Up to bed, mate. How are you?
All good, all good. So let's kick off then with Blues' fiery championship opener against Ipswich Town on Friday night. Now, if you were looking at the fixture list, you wanted a team really show off Blues' strength against a promotion hitting team. Ipswich Town is the one exactly that we wanted for. And it didn't. It's short-lived. And even a drama, dominance, and also a dash of controversy. So we're going to try and keep this short and sweet as we can, because later, actually, in the podcast, we'll have a special guest. Yes, so we'll have Mike from the Blackburn podcast joining us very soon. So we'll be looking forward to talking all things Blackburn Rovers as well. But let's talk about Friday night, first of all. The thoughts going into this one, boys. I have to say, football, the Club World Cup's been on, and I'm like, this is not football. We need football back. And finally, the Championship is back. And it's like, as much as I enjoyed League One, there's just something special about the Championship, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, we're well and truly back as well, aren't we? Because the whole day was fantastic. The atmosphere was incredible. And we really showed up as well. And Ipswich were on the ropes a couple of times that night as well. And we're thinking with like all the new players and the system we're playing that Dave has just got us playing and everything. It's just, yeah, we're doing absolutely brilliantly at the moment. We're the envy of a lot of football clubs at the moment. You know, a lot of teams are very jealous at the moment of us.
Absolutely, as they should. Josh, new season enthusiasm as well, I would say. You get from that first walk up to St Andrews at Knighthead Park.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's so different from 3 years ago. I think it's bigger than all we all dreamt of. I'm 35 this year. I've seen the highs, the lows, the probably the biggest transition in the club's long history. So to see what we're getting now, it's wonderful. And that game isn't like the 90s. That game was something different. I haven't seen that. And that to me, I said it on WM, that's a Villa game mixed in with a Wolves game, mixed in with a Baggage game, mixed in with you're not taking anything. And that's Wagner, that's Brady, that's everyone. That's not world classism. That's like, no. And that's Wagner. Get me a prize. No, it's ours. And you can't say that the Americanism isn't helping the Blues, because that wasn't us 3 years ago. It's whatever. Birmingham Sports Holdings did not care. They didn't care if we won, if we lost. Brady and Wagner care, and it shows on the pitch now, because when you've got two people at the top who can't say the swear word, but yeah, you can't be the ball pulled over their eyes too quickly. So, you know, it's wonderful, and it's the Blues you all deserve. And I think this season, some teams are going to come to our place and think they can step on us. And I think we're going to absolutely battle some teams. And I can't wait. It's so overdue. It's overdue Blues displaying what they're about. And I think it could be this season.
We've waited years for this, though, haven't we? We've had so much defensive football. Look at the likes of Ita Karanka that we had, where every game we would just go, just do not concede. And now it's just a complete flip. It's almost like we are our own modern day Manchester City in terms of like that possession attacking football that we're seeing. Yeah. And all for it, I have to say. Let's talk the transfer market really, really quickly. We didn't think Blues would go again, would we? They did. It's almost like a whole new 11. 9 new signings coming in. Just going to read off them really quickly. But I just can't believe the fact that League One, we spent a lot. Championship, we haven't even spent so much, but it's more the quantity and quality of getting players in as well through the door. So James Beadle, goalkeeper, another second fiddle to Ryan Allsop, which is good. Ian Cashin as well. We haven't seen much of him as of yet, but that's a really good, strong loan move that a lot of Brighton fans were saying it's a good move for him to go to Blues as well. Tommy Doyle, I mean, midfielder, complete class. was probably one of the best in the Wolves team at some point last season as well, in the Premier League. So to get that deal, especially on loan, it is great. Phil Newman at the back, and we'll talk about him because it literally took him 20 minutes for him to go, right, okay, he is a Birmingham City player. He's got pace, he's got aggression, he's got attack. Fucking love him. Get him in. We've got Damari Gray returning as well. That is, I wasn't so sure at that, but I'm sure we'll get your guys' views. But had a great first game, I thought, in terms of I wasn't so sure about in terms of the move, in terms of his age and stuff. I know about the nostalgia, but I thought that was what it was going to be. It was more of a nostalgia signing than a signing to really cement himself. Kanya Fujimoto, we haven't seen much of him as well, but that's a great number 10 as well to have. William Williamson does look like he's slightly falling down the pecking order, so we did need to get someone in. And Fujimoto is probably one for the future, if not now as well. And then Bright Isaiah Samuel. These are just names after names after names. Fullback as well. Incredible competition for Ethan Laird, who played a great game as well. Bright as well. Marvin Dutch. I know a lot of Blues fans have been saying, feed the duck. We will be feeding the duck. He is someone that you want off the bench. And a modern day Juki, because that's what we kind of need now, really. Is he the modern day Juki? What questions are to be seen? We'll see. And then shall we finish with the striker that I think is really going to absolutely hit the championship running, Kyogo Furuhashi. Can you believe those names are being said? Kyogo Furuhashi to Birmingham City in 2025. What was your opinion, first of all, of the signing, Tommy?
What are the signings in general? Just
signings in general and Kyogo, I guess, yeah.
Well, I think the Kyogo one was rumoured a bit earlier than some of the other signings that we've made. And when we signed him, I think I was in France at the time. So it was like, bloody hell, we actually have signed him now. Like, that's incredible, that is. Because honestly, you look at his track record at Celtic, it's just incredible. I mean, I think he scored about, I'm going to get this wrong. I think he scored about 30 goals for Celtic in one season. It might even be more, actually. So that's pretty incredible. But honestly, he scored goals in Scottish Cup finals. He scored goals against Rangers in Old Firm derbies. He's a proper striker, and I feel like even though he's sort of tailing into his 30s now, he's still going to do a massive job for us this season. And it was a surprise when he started against Ipswich, actually. I expected Doyle to play, who also I'm very happy to bring into the team. He looks a fantastic addition along with Paik and Iwata. Yeah, honestly, the transfer window has been absolutely incredible. I don't think there's one player that I have looked at and gone, don't really see where you fit in. Even with Marvin Dux, we've got Kyogo and Stansfield anyway, but I still think that he'll be a massive part of a really nice guy as well. So I think he'll fit into the team really nice.
It doesn't look across nice if you're the opposition.
Yeah,
Standing tall,
I'd like
really
it that way. Yeah,
I we'll keep it that
way. Yeah, I feel like it's like Phil Neumann. Like if he's arguing with his own team and then getting along with the opposition team, something's gone wrong there. But I like the fact that he's a right bastard to the opposition team. That's great. That is.
It's what we need. The stat you're on about as well, which I was absolutely alarmed about when they said it on Sky on the coverage. Kyogo, 85 goals and 165 appearances, which is just bloody crazy. That is almost a goal per game in the SPL, which is without no offense to the Scottish League, is a completely different league to the Championship in terms of competition. The signings in general, Josh, I mean, most teams really will look to add. We've added, but also improved. How have we done that?
It's smart business. It's data led. It's everything we've ever asked for, all in one go, and it's not stopping. You can't. When you understand the reasons why we do it, that's why it makes sense. Blues have never had they've had a scattergun approach, basically. Who can we get? Who can guard the tackle? Who can we tap into as a favour, as a friend? We're not doing that anymore. We're running it as it should be. So the model might change when we get to the Prem. We might do a Sunderland. We might start doing a Chelsea. We don't know. That's the beauty of it. We actually have hope, but we also have direction. All these players are put in for a position because the nucleus is the Birmingham City player certain style. All these players play better than one previously bought, and the next lot will, and the next lot will. It's how you build a successful juggernaut, pretty much. It's what we've all asked for. There might be pitfalls. They might have to go different directions, and there's bound to be someone coming for Davies and dangling even more money. But the hope is if you nail it right and he has complete control more than others, like the likes of Emery, for example, he has so much control at the Villa, he probably won't go unless someone gives him the same control, which is probably not going to happen. So he stays put and he builds and doesn't moan about the SSP. But we don't have to worry about that because Radner's thinking 5 years ahead. So when we're making revenue and we're getting every single new deal every 6 to 8 weeks, and we're hiring people that are from massive companies to come and do our basically bidding and our marketing, every single block in the new person coming to the party and adding more funds. 18 months on, we'll be a different club again, and then again and again, and it's all positive. So I'm just sitting back and relaxing and trying to find the enjoyment in the chaos. And other fans and other groups won't understand, but the beauty of it is we've had so much soulless of this club. We've had no direction, no identity. Now we have. It's wonderful to see all the little things you picked up on last season you think could be fixed. Them transfers are doing that. They're not just plugging holes, they're making them stronger, and then they're building from that. Like Leonard, for example, he's not going to get a look in. Half of the time people bite their hands off of that player. But if he sticks around, he might get a run, and then he might see the best of Leonard. We might get 10 games of him at 80, 90% of his potential. That's better. That's what good teams do. City didn't let Foden out, and I'm not comparing the two, but when you have that mentality of keeping your good players around you, you don't let them out the door, and you supplementally bring them in. That's the only way Blue's going to get better. Only 18 months ago, we just had a team full of freaks that no one cared. They knew they're here for a year. We've heard stories after on podcasts where old pros are having to set standards. We now know that people don't sign the Blues unless they pass a personality test and a training session before they've even signed. Blues couldn't demand that before.
Couldn't demand it before, could we?
Blues not having to tell players, this is not how we do it. You behave yourself. It's happening now, and that's how you win titles. You don't win titles by half-assing it and youth and senior players dicking about. That don't happen now. It's setting standards, and it's wonderful. And when we did the documentary, I just want more access. And obviously, you can't get too much because you don't want to give other oppositions info. But I want to see more. I want to see more behind the scenes. I want to see how it has improved. So going back to the question, the transfers are perfect, and they're only getting better. So you can't knock the team and the data-led transfer strategy we've got.
Well, as of today, we've still got nearly 2.5 weeks left of the transfer window, and we haven't really spent so much compared to the likes of last year, really pushing for it. So who knows? And with Blues, we've now kind of built a reputation with the likes of Tom Brady and Wagner has helped because they've sold a project to players that want to come and play, but also by improving the facility at Epic, by improving the stadium, it's almost like a written contract, but also something that you can't really deny if you want to come here, unless there's competition from other teams, which we won't talk about with a certain other transfer target. But that being said and done, still 2.5 weeks, and the names will just keep potentially rolling out, and who knows, we'll see what happens. Let's talk into the game then. The game obviously set off. Blues, Ipswich, dominated for large sales, actually. The whole game, I don't think Ipswich really did an awful lot, apart from mistakes at the back. Now, a lot of the times, more Premier League pundits are saying more about the Premier League teams, but it seems like it's kind of flowing down a little bit down the divisions with goalkeepers from the back, passing it into midfield. There was a time where Allsop literally did that, and I think everyone inside out was like, oh my God, hands on head moment. But it was blasted wide by Sam Schmodix, of all players, who you would think would find the back of the net. So my question is really, we dominated League One. The play style is absolutely working, but do we have to adapt? Depends on different oppositions for the Championship.
I would probably say yes, because obviously you can't go with all hell for leather against every single team. But that being said, I think teams like Blackburn, who I'm really hoping we beat, by the way, at the weekend, because we bloody never win at Ewood Park, honestly. So I think that they would probably sit off against us, which is kind of the similar story as what we all felt last season, which was we go to a team and they just sit back and we have to do all the work and try and break them down. But with teams like Ipswich, we'll have to adapt a little bit because we can sort of play on the break and absorb some of the pressure that they put on us then, which I think will actually benefit us in that way. So I think the actual the system that we've got working out, though, is just perfect because the team that we have, we can tack down that right-hand side. And if it doesn't work, then we can switch it across to the left-hand side and get Anderson working down that side with Cochrane to lay it back to. But then when you look down the right-hand side, you've got the moments, which is, can always be changed around. You've got Asai Samuel and Gray just slightly ahead of him. So if Asai Samuel can make those runs in behind him, we'll give him options there. As the goal was set up by Asai Samuel, came over the top, won the header, put it in for a Kyogo, then Gray dropped back and then covered in for the right-back spot. So just the adaptability of just the team in general, so we're more than capable of adapting to teams that the going to be pulling up against in this season, and I think it was good that we played Ipswich on that first game. I remember when the fixtures came out, it was like, good, I am happy about that, because you can catch them off guard early on, and then you got Blackburn, who I'm kind of really hoping we beat, just so we can get like over that and everything. I've not seen us win at Ewood Park, I don't think, in my entire life. Or
Harrow
Norwich,
Road.
yeah. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen us
Leicester,
win there.
no, what they
Never
did at
Leicester.
Andrews,
There's quite a few, actually, yeah.
It's a new era now, Josh. You never know. We might be going to these places and actually
So come on, Blues, for God's sake, just win at Ewood Park.
Josh, as well, as the game went on, the possession was just unbelievable. I mean, Blues were just passing it around the park like no tomorrow, and Ipswich really couldn't do much in terms of, unless it was counter on mistakes. And I guess that's probably the caveat, isn't it? It's all right having the possession. You've got to create the chances, but also at the back, you've got to be solid, because if you do make mistakes, you never know on another day. Samish Wadditz might have put that in. I think there was other chances as well from a lot of their forward line.
And another day, we might have a referee that could just referee the game.
And let's talk about the referee as well. Wow. Wow.
I'm not being funny, right? Look at the penalty in itself.
We'll get to the penalty, Josh. We'll get to the penalty.
It's soft. But then all the antics afterwards, you've got a player booting the ball into the crowd, you've got a small melee. Then you've got, right after the kickoff, you've got Hurst going straight in again, wanting it, antagonising the whole situation. I'm sorry, how has he not got booked as a bare minimum? Like, how has Ashley Young not got booked just to give us all some money? Like, come on. We all backed it, all of us. All of us, because it was odd. And the ref didn't even inkling to help us out. You give us a white win, can't even give us a win on the yellow card. Selfish, like absolutely selfish. Can't stand it. But on the flip side, when you've got a team that have to change the way they play to suit us, that doesn't happen very often in the Championship for the last God knows how many years. So it's a big credit. And as Tom said, the weakness of our team come at us, but then we get space. But then it's probably the best system to use at the moment. It's how you have the sum of the parts, really. But that is what David has done, and you can't knock it. His DNA and his aggression throughout that team, and you can just hear his voice after the documentary. That's the base level. That's where we start, and we build off this. So then, if you can go and put in that performance, and the fans are that aggressive, like granted it was an 8 o'clock kickoff on a Friday, so that does help. But I haven't seen that before. That was like that. We're coming into ultra sections there with the aggression. Ashley Young got dogs abuse.
Yeah. He did.
Fair play to him. Like, he didn't change the way he played, but I haven't heard that since probably Savage.
Yeah.
Ironically, against Blackburn.
Yeah.
That was one of my favourite games of my childhood. I mean, 1-2-1, Forsell scored in like the 97th minute. I have never heard the place go up, but I tell you what, that Ashley Young fan was very close. There was people like just lost it. You're getting it. It was brilliant. And usually that hate is to our players. And now it's the opposition.
What's normally funny is the substitution. The announcer, we normally say who straight after. It was just boos. They obviously saw who was on the touchline and who was going on. There was no who. It was just dogs abuse and boos.
I love it. It's exactly what it should be. We should hate each other for 90 minutes, and then after that, it's done. I've seen some little spatterings of like trouble outside the ground, but it's going to happen. We are going to annoy a lot of fan bases, and we're accepting of that. Keep tweeting. Keep putting money in the bank.
I saw a bit of that kicking off outside actually afterwards, and like there was a bloke with like some kid on his shoulders, and he was having a go at some of the blokes who were having a go at him. I was like, mate, you've got your kid on your shoulders. Why don't you just fucking carry on walking, you div? Honestly.
It's mental.
Blues fans never change, whether we win the league or whether we're down relegated.
No, that was an Ipswich fan, I should say, actually.
That was Ipswich.
Yeah, because the Blues fans were annoying him, and so he had his kids on his shoulder. He was like, do you want to go? Do you want to go? Like that with his kids on his shoulder. I was like, mate, just carry on walking. You're in small leave at the middle of the night. Honestly, what you think is going to happen?
Football does mad things to people. Like, that fan, he shouldn't have done what he did, but then respectfully, why are you booting the ball into the fans? Like,
honestly, how does Connor Chaplin get away with that? And I saw some of the articles, and rightly so, the bloke who did it was obviously in the wrong. But Connor Chaplin has antagonised that, as you say. So just why is he not getting some of the same abuse?
Imagine that's your kid, and you KO the kid.
Exactly.
It
causes
Birmingham
danger.
City. Like, we're working class, we look after our own. Like, you're asking for trouble, and you're doing it right in front of the worst stand in the ground. for the most
Yeah.
passion. Like, come on.
I
But
know.
and then again, if it turns into his family stand, it's game over again. Like, it's just you just don't do that. Don't kick the ball at the fans. It's not hard, is it?
I'm quite a calm person, but even if I was saying that, I mean, honestly, I've done that before actually. But like, the players have a right go at the fans. Remember, Keenan Davis did it against Forest. I had like something in my hand. I can't remember. It must have been a drink or something like that. I'm thinking, I really shouldn't throw this, but I'm so
When we
tempted
scored,
to.
I just started my bolty pie and it was boiling hot. I'm grabbing my mouth and I'm holding it up like that so I don't drop it. And there's a geezer behind me just like making sure I don't drop my pie and he just launched it when we scored. It was mental.
That'd be great.
One thing I've noticed from last season to this season, we celebrate goals longer.
That is
It's
true.
longer. It's more passionate. And yet, and on Friday it went down and then it went up again, and everyone's waiting going again. It's almost like, nah, we're not finished. They're not still celebrating. We're going to keep on going. I remember goals going.
Yeah, exactly.
But then I think corners are mental. Like it's such a juxtaposition of Blues fans. Like it's not hard to entertain us. Maximum your tackle, do some good interplay, have all the things pull off. Like there was a point where I think Pike stepped over it, put it through someone's legs. Everyone's up. It got pinged to Damari. He runs in, takes off 3 lads, and there's a free kick. Everyone's just like, let's go.
Yeah, exactly. The hype around everything's just amazing, isn't it?
Isn't that going to fall into what the NFL is? It's all about plays. Certain play gets you this point, that play gets you that point. Well, we've got American owners who like set plays. If it comes into our game and we give us an edge, then it helps, doesn't it? But I think the documentary proved Davis won't be told. He's asked advice, and then it's a collaborative thing, and it's put together. It's brilliant. It's only collaborative. It's not standing on people's toes. And compared to Rooney, I mean, this is just night and day. So, I mean, my hope for the season.
We've rubbed the Rooney chapter out of the
matter.
If someone get Rooney a job so we can smack him, that's what I want.
Exactly, yeah. Just who should he get? I feel like he should get like some really crap team in the division.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love him to get a job in the charity. He'd probably fucking win though. That's the problem then. As soon as you get back in.
That's just the Blues, wouldn't the Blues element? You can have it, but you can't have it all.
I know, exactly, yeah. We should make him look a real good manager then.
Okay, so our second part of the EverythingB9 podcast here is a interview with the opposition, which we don't normally do. So it's something quite exciting that we're doing this season as well. So I'm pleased to say that we've got Mike from the Blackburn podcast. Welcome to the podcast, Mike.
No, guys, how's it going?
All good. So let's talk then first about your opening weekend, shall we? Baggies away was always going to be a tough task. What was your kind of optimism going into the game, first of all? Was there any?
Well, this is it. I mean, we're in transition at the moment, similar to you guys. I mean, your transition's a bit more positive than ours is. Obviously, some of ours has been forced, but we're now trying to be that little bit more athletic, a little bit bigger, stronger, faster. And all I wanted out of this game, obviously, you can tell by my accent, I am local to the Birmingham area, so I know a lot of Blue Noses, I know a lot of Baggies fans. And I was speaking to all the Baggies fans. I was saying to them, look, as long as I can come out of this positive in some way, I'll be happy. And I know we lost 1-0 and it was a really scrappy, long throw goal to concede, which is what they're known for. But actually, I came away and I thought, I can see where we're trying to go with this.
Absolutely. What about your transfer business then? Do you want to go through kind of your transfer business, who might have departed the club that we might have known from last season, who's potentially come in? I mean, one player that basically comes to mind as well, I know he was there last season. He looked a good player from when I watched Blackburn games. Is that another Japanese? The Japanese are taking over the EFL, aren't they? It's almost like they're the best. Yuki Ahasi, he looks a player and a half.
Yeah, so Hashi for us is, like you say, the Japanese are taking over. He was someone that was just a very professional player. They'd all had these really long seasons in Japan, come to us with no pre-season, no break, and he looked very sharp, but then he started to tire off. I think a very, very talented player. He's probably the one I would expect to be up there with our top goal scorer. I think he's definitely someone that I think the more bigger teams would be looking at going forward. Other players that we lost that I know that I think was linked to you was Tyrese Dolan. He was someone that went on a free. We could get into contract situations all day and your fans aren't going to be bothered about that situation. But yeah, he's gone to Espanyol, strangely enough. But yeah, when it comes to departures, The biggest one for us right now is probably Callum Britton at right back. He was someone who was very solid. But we've now got Ali Biosu and Lewis Miller coming in, and on the first day, they looked all right. They looked like they could replace him. Other players coming in, like I say, we've tried to go a little bit stronger, a little bit faster. So we have got Tavares, we've got Henriksen, some players that you may have heard of, may not. But Sean McLaughlin at the back from Hull. I'm quite happy with this signing. So we lost Danny Bart. There was a lot of people talking about how he was old and he wouldn't do anything last season, but he ended up being really solid for us. He's departed, and we've got Sean McLaughlin in, and I'll be honest, he looks really strong at the back with Hyam. So from a centre-back pairing, and I hope I'm not jinxing it for this weekend, I think their experience now should really help us with Toth in goal behind them.
What would you say is more of like the realistic aim for the season then? What's kind of between all the Blackburn fans, if you could put a position that you would nail on, what would you say?
Oh, mate, you put me on the spot here. This is a difficult one. I mean,
what are you optimistic for then? What would you say? What would be?
This sounds really sad, but I'll be optimistic for a 10th place because of this transition. I think that we tend to have these spells where we do quite well, we're up there, and then we fall away. Obviously, we've had relegation battles in the past. As long as we're not in a relegation battle, I'll be happy. I'm quite confident in the signings that we've made that physically we can cope a lot more than what we've done previously. So I'll take a mid-table. I mean, I think a few fans have looked at us for last year just missing out on the playoffs, and you know, you get an impression of where we are as a club, but we're vastly different over the summer. For what we were then to what we are now. I mean, Lewis Travis is meant to be on his way out. He might have even been gone by the time we play you guys. So that's another centre midfield player that we're going to have lost. From us talking now to Saturday, we could have a vastly different team again. But I'd take a 10th place right now.
In terms of this Blackburn team, then, who are the players that we should be looking out for? Who's going to be causing the threat for the Blues?
We've got Augustus Gargbo on the left-hand side. He's very fast, very strong, but he's extremely raw. I think a lot of teams you're seeing now, they're trying to get these athletes that kind of know how to play football. And he's one of these where you just know that he's going to be tricky. He's the one that got Furlong sent off as soon as he came on at half-time. They just couldn't deal with him. I think there was 3 yellow cards on him in the first few minutes. So he's very pacey. So if we start with him, I think he could cause you problems. I mean, obviously, I know a lot of Blue Noses. A lot of my in-laws are Blue Noses, and I talk a lot and watch quite a lot of your games. And obviously, you guys are quite strong, and I think it's going to be a real battle. And I think the strength's going to be the game's going to be who's the stronger one in that midfield area. So I'd like to think that we're going to get a bit stronger and a bit pacier against you, but I'm going to say Gargbo on that left-hand side could cause you issues.
Tommy loves going to Ewood Park, don't you, Tommy?
Oh, I love it, mate. Honestly, I think we've won there, 0 times actually. Every single time we've been there, yeah. It's a.
Well, you gave us the game last time, didn't you?
Was that the Rooney one when we were away at late at night? Was it
Ruddy? Yeah, Ruddy just. He just gifted us the game. Weirdly enough, that was the game where I actually started to worry about us, and we went into a relegation battle because you guys just gave us the game that day. I think we won like 4-1. No, it was 4-2.
4-2, yeah, because you went 3-0 up, didn't you? And then we got 2 back and 1 later on. Yeah,
and yeah, you gifted us that game. I'm happy that you'd gifted it us, but
we're in the mood at that point to do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I just wonder how Blackburn are really going to face. I mean, you said 10th this season. That's like a bit of an optimistic sort of guess, I suppose. But I mean, there is a bit of a worry about the way that, because obviously you're not a particularly well-run club, are you, over the years from all the sort of the ownership? But is there if you survive this season, will next season look good? What's the sort of vibe around the club, I suppose, from the fans' point of view?
Pretty awful. I mean, I don't need to talk to you guys about owners and issues off the pitch. You guys have been through it just like we have. at the end of the day, the Venky situation from when they came in, and I think a few people are still shocked that they actually still own us. And they put a lot of money into this club to keep it running. I think it's something like £600,000 a week they lose just running the club. And a lot of people are wondering what they get out of it. And if people are interested, there's loads of stuff out there on that ownership side. But for us, they seem to be doing a lot of things in the background. There's the big court case in India. So effectively, what it was, where for every £1 million they sent, they had to give £1 million to the Indian government. So it just wasn't financial sense for them. So they've been battling that, and that kind of been sorted in some ways. But then any money we made on players like your Adam Whartons, your Rayas, that was all going into the running of the club. So to answer your question, if that doesn't get sorted, I'm still going to be concerned, because any good player we get that goes, that money seems to go into the running of the club. If that does get sorted, I'm an optimistic fan. I like to think that we're making some nice positive changes. We seem to be getting more of an identity back of using some younger players, because we'd lost that under John Eustace, again, a person you know quite well. So I'd like to think that we're now trying to get this new identity, and that if we do have a solid season this year and that court case gets sorted, that we can start to build on it and try and be a team that's pushing playoffs each year.
How many games do you think Ishmael can lose before he comes under pressure? Due to your financial situation, do you think he's in it for the season, or do you think he'll be chopped if he's, say, 8 games in, hasn't won a game?
Well, the strange thing is the owners went through this spell of sacking anyone like really quick. I mean, we had Appleton go really quick, Henningberg go really quick, to then it didn't matter what they did, they were staying. They've given him quite a decent contract. And the thing is so we had John Dahl Thomason before Eustace. And what Thomason did with the club was very much, again, to link it into Blues. You guys, you focus on your youth and bringing players through. Because you need that, because you can't just keep spending millions on players. We're exactly the same. So we was always focused on that. So we always had players coming through that you could have for the first team. Then Eustace comes in and completely changed it. And we then started buying all these older players like Dion Sanderson, who was absolutely awful.
Shock.
Exactly.
There is a player in there. It just takes it just vanishes and then comes back for a few games and then vanishes again. But there is a player in there.
Well, you should see his Derby debut. That was quite funny. But anyway, this isn't the Derby podcast. But yeah, so we've now got this situation where we're now trying to go back to what we was doing with JDT. So Eustace had changed it, and now we're going back to actually let's start with the use of the players that we've signed. The average age is way lower. The players that we've sold is quite high. So I think they're going to give Ishmael quite a bit more leeway while that comes in, and they've given him a longer contract. I'm confident enough to say I don't think we'll get into that situation where we're losing enough for him to come under pressure. But I think if by Christmas it's not looking good, I can potentially see a change. But apparently he's got the season at least.
It's good to know though, because obviously at Barnsley that was where he probably really flourished, and he has that opportunity. Yeah, exactly. And he had the opportunity now to really build something at Blackburn. So fingers crossed for you and for the season. Let's talk the game then. Score predictions then. Tommy, are we going to go to Ewood and actually win?
Oh, don't say that, because now we won't win. I'm really hopeful, because obviously I know that Blackburn have had a couple of, like a bit of a disappointing transfer window. But, from what you were saying about the West Brom game, even though you did lose, wasn't a particularly terrible start. I'd be very disappointed if we did lose, because we started really well against Ipswich, and it would be good to sort of set the stone there as well, because we've got we can actually build on something then if we get a win, because it's good points on the board. We were denied a win on the first day as well against Ipswich. It's just whether I think we'll win, because there's always that problem, isn't there? It's you might get an early goal and then you just sit back, and then there's all sorts of problems, and then there's bits that we haven't worked out.
Generally, I don't think that's a problem, because
I just worry though
that last season, I think that's the default now. If they do that will play into our hands, because we've got better players to do that. So
I agree
really,
with you.
they've
Yeah.
got to come on us. They've got to come at us because they've got to put us back. Because if you have Newman turning on himself, he doesn't want to do that. So if you've got pace and you sit in between Samuel and Newman, that's where you'll get us.
Yeah,
So if
true.
they sit back, we'll just swarm them.
Yeah,
But
true.
it works both ways, but I don't think it's cut and dry though. I think we'll have
Yeah.
to battle a little bit. And their pitch always seems massive. It seems huge.
Yeah, it's a
So
good
I don't know
point,
if we can do what we did the other day, I think we'll be fine. But I don't think it's cut and dry. And I think it could be won in the first 20 minutes though.
Good point.
I don't see goals in there.
I think it's the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you were saying it's like, it depends
goals.
on like who's the strongest team, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think those first 20 minutes are going to be key for this game. I think whoever, because from the outside looking in, like I said, I watched the game on Friday. I watched quite a few Blues games with the father-in-law for all my sins, and you seem like a team that's quite controlled, but you run off emotion as well. So if your fans are there behind you roaring like they do, when you've sold out the whole away end, I think if you get us like arguing and the fans on their backs in the first 10, 15 minutes, I think we could potentially crumble a little bit.
Yeah.
I think those first 20 minutes are going to be key for both sides.
Interesting then, yeah. I'll give you my score prediction. I'll say a 2-1 Blues. I don't think we can keep a clean sheet, unfortunately. But if we can, then it's a massive step forward. I just wonder like if there might be a couple of areas maybe just to focus on if there are a couple of issues we face, maybe like someone like a pacey player like that winger you were talking about, because obviously Alex Cochrane for us isn't the quickest fullback, so it'd be interesting to see if they stick him on him, but if they put him up against Asai Samuel, I think Asai Samuel will just beat him every single day of the week. That guy is absolutely rapid, he is. So fingers crossed we win, but also hoping to look forward to a very good game as well.
I'm gonna do the exact same without putting a downer on it. I think we get an extra goal, so I think it's 3-1. I've just got a feeling now that they weren't happy what happened on Friday night, and they want to go for blood. And I think that this will be a game that, like you said, won in the first 20 minutes, and we'll see. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It could be completely opposite. Josh,
yeah, 2-1. I feel the same. I think they'll look at our midfield and they think we're not as strong as we are. But I think on Friday we showed that if they want to make it a battle, we can do that. But it's just how far you can push it in an away game. So I think 2-1s are probably a fair one. But again, I wouldn't be shocked if it's a 2-2 or even if it's a ball draw. If they just sit back completely and Ishmael goes, you know what, Bradford down. I don't need to win. I just need to make sure I don't lose. It could go either way. But I would like to think we could, as you say, had a little bit of a chip on our side for Friday and do it. But yeah, I think it's time to go with 2-1.
Mike, to play devil's advocate in Blackburn's seat, what would you say?
Well, I can't go against my team, can I?
No.
I can't come on here and go against them. I don't want to be boring and say 2-1 because I did actually think we could potentially take the lead, you equalise, and then we get something at the end. Because I think that coming off the bench, if we've got pace coming off the bench, it could cause issues. I'm going to go 2-1, and we break your hearts at the end, and it's going to be very.
That's what I'm worried about.
And I think my one concern is we've both experienced quite a lot of dodgy EFL refs, and I just don't want these dodgy EFL refs to be coming into this game.
And my producers just let me know that Blackburn are currently losing 2-0 in the Carabao Cup. So this is great news for.
That's all right. It's only our C team playing.
Brilliant. And Mike, it's been an absolute pleasure. Appreciate you coming onto the pod. So obviously that's Mike for the Blackburn End podcast. You can catch them on YouTube and X using the handle at Blackburn End Pod. Thank you for coming, Mike.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate.
So let's talk the events of the game then. The referee was absolutely shambolic. So let's talk about it. EFL referees, everyone else went on holiday. Seems like they didn't. They returned with the exact same vengeance of causing problems to Blues like they did in League One. Even worse. Let's talk then first about the Kyogo goal that was not a goal that probably should have been a goal. A lot of the pundits, I don't know if they were just fighting for the fact that it was just devil's advocate and also defender. The thing is about Kyogo, he's pacey And I have watched, again, a highlight reel does not do anything. But if you do watch his games, that's what he does because he's aggressive, which is what we want. This is what we want with Kyogo. But he does jump into challenges. He does, like, that is something that he does. So if that one's going to be penalised, I hope that's just not the
trend.
Not going to be, yeah. But I mean, surely it wasn't a foul, guys. Like,
no,
100%
no. I mean, like, I used to do a bit of refereeing on Sundays for a bit of money back in the day, and even I know that that's just never a foul, honestly. Because like referees nowadays, they give everything for such a little touch, and it ruins the flow of the game. Because if the referee just sat back for a little bit, allowed the play to carry on, little nicks here and there, and if the players are throwing themselves to the ground and you let them play on, then they'll stop doing it. Do you know what I mean? They're not stupid. They're not going to carry on diving over and looking at the referee when he's not going to give it. So referees have honestly got to get a bit of backbone, because one thing I should say, actually, the new rule about time wasting on goal kicks, if you take longer than I think about 8 seconds you get a corner now. So like this opposition, which is a brilliant rule, because yellow cards, they never wanted to give it because like it felt like you're going to get sent off for 2 yellow cards at a goal kick. Like that's not going to happen. So the corner kick rule is introduced, and even still they won't do it properly. It's like after 8 seconds, there's it's a deterrent. It's not like a punishment, but it's a deterrent. So it's like if you time waste the goal kicks, you're going to be given a corner for the opposition team. So like properly enforce it then. There's so many times in that Ipswich game where there was just wasting time at goal kicks. It's like even now when you bring in this rule, you're still not enforcing it. So referees, honestly, they've got to get a bit of strength to them, because they're just going to get walked over by even more things that are just ridiculous. Like so many soft challenges, and that Kyogo one just sums it up really.
Yeah, absolutely. There should be another one, in my opinion, I think, which I heard actually, I think Mark Clattenburg said it on the podcast, was throw-ins. If they take too long on a throw-in, just award it the other way, because then that would stop that as well. But that's a whole different kettle of fish. But yeah, in terms of that game, it's just like it was just the leniency of the threshold that, ironically, Howard Webb then went on Sky the following day on Saturday and laid out this new EFL vision for the standard of refereeing in terms of little nitty bits or players thrown to the ground. They will just wave on play. This guy clearly hadn't been to the training, because he was not doing this at all. I mean, Kyogo was so unlucky to have that ruled out. And then the goal itself, it seems like Kyogo is just going to be a star player. We already know that, but he is just really going to be a star player. But also, he loves a chip. Like, I mean, that was just the goal to score that, and also so unlucky to almost not get to the second and actually it count. But Stano just going to be the right place, right time, Josh.
Yeah, it's just what you want. They're forming a double act like May and Stano did last season. It's wonderful to watch, and with the added attack that we've got coming in, the rotation will be key this season. But what them two together was brilliant on Friday, and the ref did spoil it for Kyogo. But going back to the corner thing, I don't think he wanted the man to have been the first ref to do it. I don't think he wanted it. I think he absolutely bottled it. He didn't want to place in history. And from that moment on, his referee performance fell apart. He had the chance to do it, I think, within like 5 minutes. Just do it, get out of the way. You won't do it again.
Set the standard early on.
Yeah. And Davies would have been his office all season. Last season, they wasted time and time again. On my team, got to get into the flow. That's cheating. Fundamentally, it's cheating. So we all used it. Blues used them out for years when we were kids, because that was an easy tactic to use. But it's not something you can use, because we're meant to be an entertainment business. You're trying to make people forget their lives for 180 minutes because they come a bit earlier. So you're just spoiling it. You're making it an inferior product. So I don't want to spend more money on it as a casual. You're bringing new eyes into it with foreign owners, but you've got referees that are in the dark ages, that are literally little Hitlers walking around ruining it. Like, you know, if you didn't play football, you're not good enough. Like, you have to ruin the game for everybody else. We need you. You're an integral part. And the best referees are the one you don't notice. And they're becoming personalities in themselves, you know. With the Richard Coote stuff, it's just pathetic, really. They need to get some sort of level, because back in the day, I used to live next door to a referee, Mike Reed, and he was a cracking referee. He was only part-time. And I used to see him run up and down, doing laps and that. And he had one rule: never call me something. You call me a cheat, or you've done this, you're off. And you have Patrick Vieira and Tony Adams at his beck and call, because he was a good ref. He said, I want to see some, you're an adult, I want to see some, you know, tackles. You know, you can swear at each other. You swear at me, you're off. That's it. There's no more debate. And I think these referees now, they've just got no bottle, because they're worried that the person in the stands who's writing them is going to dock their money or put them on a ban list. Well, some of them need to be banned because the decisions they're making is making it poorer for us and ruining the game.
Yeah.
I think also you got to talk about, as much as the referee was shambolic, Blues were so dominant for 60, 70 minutes. We earned the goal after obviously having that disallowed. But again, without me sounding too negative, this is what happened in League One. We don't kill off games. We just do not kill off games at the moment. And that was 60, 70 minutes. As soon as then we got that goal, it's almost like we go into not panic mode because we're not that type, because on the counter we can do it. I mean, it's probably just a tactical thing. You've just, all right, let them have the ball for a bit. But if you do that against stronger opposition than Ipswich, no offense to Ipswich, because they should be, if that's the strongest we've got in the Championship, then we should be all right. But if there's going to be stronger opposition up there, and we're going to do a similar thing, if we get the first goal and we just let them have the ball, I just don't understand why Davis just decided to just tweak that a little bit and not go and get a second.
I generally think it was legs. I think if you're bringing on Akpom instead of bringing on Dyke, we win that game. You need that energy. The drop off on Kyogo down over to the end, Dyke, they're different kettles of fish. Dyke he's a good player in the division, but for the likes of Blackburn, that he would be perfect for them because they play a slightly different style. He could work for Blues, but he's going to be chasing shadows because he isn't the press. This team works the best with press. So if he's not pressing, the 10's got to press. But if the 10 is Tommy Doyle, they can put it over him. They can stay over him. He's not using the aerial prowess that Doyle has got because he can't keep up. If Duck is a bit more pacey, then that works. You don't have to lose that. But with him, as soon as he come on, it just went because he isn't that. He isn't Kyogo. He isn't Jai, and nor could he be, because if he was, he wouldn't be the price that we paid for him. So you've got to give him a little bit of leeway. I do feel like he got a little bit of a bad rap last season, but the things he did well. The goal in the FA Cup was a decent goal. He's a good player, and he falls into the bracket that me and Jan spoke about before. He falls into the bracket of 18 months ago. So he'd be perfect for us. Same as Dow would have been.
So
same as Ben Davis would have been, and we would have probably been at the level of, I don't know, Baggies maybe, and not gone down, and then this season been completely different again. But we've moved to a different direction, and unfortunately, Dyke, in his short amount of time, is a thing of the past. Same as Duke was a thing of the past. Dyke now feels to me like Duke did, where it's symbolism. He's on there because he looks big. He's probably not going to win the ball, but he might think he does. He might win you free kicks, he might not. Duke renownedly didn't win us free kicks. He almost stopped the game because the referee gave it the other way. We need someone to do that, as well as the press, as well as everything else. And that's 15 million plus, let's be honest. You know, it's in the next bracket up, it's the next pool. So you're going to have to change a little bit. And I think if you look at the Akpom deal, it now makes sense, that Ipswich game. Because having that other player that's not too far away, what Kyogo is, not too far away from Jay, helps you keep that body to go and find the next player in that bracket of Akpom. And I think it makes sense of why we need more deals. And it's still adding to the squad because it's still not completely perfect to do everything, which is dominate and win the league. Because they're setting the team up to do that now. Because when you've got depth like we have, where you can almost crop out the starting 11 and the bench is still equally as good, that's a title winning team. That's not low level. So them players need to know that they're going to get somewhere. And that's probably why Akpom went to Ipswich. You probably think, I can guarantee a game over Hurst. Because Hurst is more of a Dyke than he's a Kyogo. So he's probably understanding why he thinks, well, if I look at Jay and I look at Kyogo, I'm not going to dislodge them. I'm getting the junk minutes, the bum minutes, the minutes that I don't deserve. That Ajax, that's what I'm getting now. But at Ipswich, he's probably a bit more higher up the food chain and probably starts more games. But for Blues, we've got to try and find that player now that's not too far away from Jay and also not far from Kyogo. So I think he's probably a younger player. That's why I think maybe Wagner and Brady do something a little bit mad and go and get someone from South America or something, a 19-year-old, to blend in, who's happy to sit on the bench, who's all right with 20 minutes. But then 20 minutes when we're 3-0 up and there's no pressure on you, so you can take the shot from 30 yards. That might be a better option for us. But with the data-led transfer committee, I just let them run with it, and I'm excited
let
to see
them do
what
what they
they
do.
come in. I don't ever question them now.
No.
I feel like for the first time since probably Drew, I don't really worry about what the transfers are. that says we went up to the Prem, I kind of like was just like, we're in the Prem. I don't care who we sign. We're in the Prem. It's brilliant. There's no like, I'm not judging every single little move. We're with the big boys. We're going to be hard working. But I think now it's that finding that player to replace Diogo in 3 years' time. You can find him now. We're laughing, but I think Dyke coming into the team does drop like a stone, unfortunately, for him.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. He probably will find that he might be out the door, whether it be on loan or a transfer by the end of the window. You don't know.
I think Blackburn, Portsmouth, Oxford, them kind of things, he looked brilliant, and I think he deserves that as well. Yeah. I did think maybe QPR, but they're doing better now. They've got Kone, haven't they?
Pace as well.
They're all upgrading themselves, so shaking off that old style that we kind of shared, where you got a big lump up top and you hope you can stick to it. And that still works in the Championship. There's still teams that will need that, but just unfortunately for us, not lose anymore.
To be fair, I think Dyche's replacement is probably Marvin Dutcher. He's going to be that credible option off the bench as well. So, but yeah, Dyche, like you said, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. Really, it's like he was all right for League One. I wouldn't say he's good for League One. He was all right for League One. He came in options, obviously scored some important goals with the cup competition, etc. But it is like 18 months transfer. Who knows if we do go up, what the team will be next year. It's just constantly ever changing. Quickly to wrap up the game, Tommy, what did you think in terms of that control then throughout? Was there a sense of vulnerability as the clock ticked down, would you say?
What, in terms of like controlling the game towards the end of the game?
Yeah, so like obviously when you were giving Ipswich the ball, could you tell that they were potentially going to score? Or I know obviously they were given a penalty, we'll talk about that. But
I don't think I expected them to score because they didn't look very threatening all game. I think they had only 2 shots really that troubled us. That Sammy Smodic's one in the first half, and I think Hurst headed wide towards the end of the first half. He had a free header on the edge of the box. But that was about it. I don't think I expected them to score from open play because we were doing so well. And I think the control of the game was good, but I do understand where you're coming from a bit, James, in the fact that we don't kill games off. But we didn't create as many chances as I thought we would. But there was a couple of moments where Jay, in the first half in particular, he sort of snatched at things and dragged stuff wide. I just think he was a bit eager just to get on the score sheet. But I think now that he has, I think moving forward in games, we'll start to see that composed Jay Stansford sort of finish. Because on the break as well, there's no one stopping him. But yeah, it's hard to tell, isn't it? Because it's the first game of the season. Everyone's starting to getting used to the high intense playing again. And maybe as well, just a little bit of maybe some of the, I don't know, how do I frame this? I'm absolutely certain that they're of tip-top form and strength and fitness at the moment. But I do wonder whether they started to tire a little bit towards the end of that game because it was very intense. And I imagine some of the mental tiring as well was a little bit there as well because it must have been a hard, long game and with the atmosphere and everything. And the crowd must have got them going a long time because, I mean, like that 90 minutes then like dragged into 100 minutes as well. And then towards the end of the game, when they do get that equaliser, it's like, oh, God, just hold on now. Because then there was like all sorts of shit going on with terrible refereeing, just giving little fouls away. It's like, oh, just don't lose it now. And we didn't. But Neumann and Clara for me were the ones that really kept that everything at arm's length. Do you know what I mean? Like there's nothing coming in towards us. Everything was just out we go and everything and keep hold of the possession. But yeah, it's one to look on positive, I think, because there was very few negatives to take from all of that. Lyndon Dykes probably is some of the, like Josh, you were just saying then, just maybe some of the standards just need to keep up to just because he's not at the level that some of the amazing players that we do have at the moment. So that might be a thing to look at for future games and everything. But I imagine we'll have Dutch at the weekend. But yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? We would have won that game had that penalty not been given. There's just no doubt about it because Ipswich were just they were as exhausted as we were in the end.
Boys, it's been a pleasure, and thank you all for watching as well. If you're still here, I appreciate it. Like and comment as well, and do give us suggestions as well. We're always trying to elevate the pod and see what we could do. First of all, it actually counts that we have to upload more than 1 or 5 podcasts a season, but that will come. We are absolutely revolutionised with a whole team of fresh Blues faces to come and give their opinion and all talk all things Blues. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. As always. Keep right on.
Keep right on, lads.